Now, I mentioned this last week, and well, there's more coming out about this, and that is China encircling Taiwan. Now, I just mentioned this kind of ad lib last week that, things are not looking so good right now with Lebanon firing missiles into Israel. You got Hezbollah shooting missiles into Israel. You got Hamas shooting missiles into Israel. You got Israel fighting left and right people. You got Russia invading Ukraine. You got freaking China was fully circling Taiwan like for the last couple weeks, and nobody was talking about it. Nobody. So here we have this right here, where contrary to what much of the world's media has reported, or their lack of, China's 13-hour simulated blockade of Taiwan that began on Monday, October 14th, using a record-breaking number of planes, aircraft carrier, and both Navy and Coast Guard vessels was not quite so simple as China punishing Taiwan's new president for comments he made since taking office in May of this year. Quote, China planned the exercises in advance and would have carried them out regardless of what the president of Taiwan said. Non-resident senior fellow at the Atlantic Council Global China Hub, Laris, whatever the hell, doesn't matter. The military exercises are intended to wear down Taiwan's military hardware and personnel. The purpose of the exercises are to threaten Taiwan's security to the point that Taiwan's people lose confidence in their government and change the status quo, meaning try to overthrow their own government out of fear of what China could possibly do to them. We got Devil's Advocate over there on YouTube, becoming an American patriot. Thank you so much, sir. All of you guys becoming members help us keep the lights on, and quite frankly, help us pay the bills as well. Always greatly appreciate you guys. I see you all in the chat, and I see you guys over there at Rumble as well. Appreciate all of you. See ya. Lighten up that chat. Now, I've also talked about, you guys, you want to know how serious this whole China-Taiwan thing is?
On gold or silver?
There's already been...
What we're about to reveal.
Vicks for swollen prostate?
See if we can
My problem with your...
That site. Sorry, that's Rumble. I want to be able to see the chat. What I've said here time and time again is that we know that China obviously wants to take back Taiwan. And we've heard leaked audio from government officials of how they're going to do it, roughly when they're going to do it. And that came out in the form of a memo from a general in the United States military letting his people know, the guys under him, hey, we're looking at possible war in 2025 here with China if they go into Taiwan. Taiwan has also released documents about China of they're so serious about invading Taiwan that they've released information about which provinces of China basically need to stay on par with supply chains during the invasion of Taiwan. And if those provinces are gone, well, then there's no moving forward. So all this has been being maneuvered for the last decade or two. And I don't know if we're sleeping on it as far as our military or our intelligence or what's going on. But it makes me a little worrisome with a possible event taking place if Donald Trump were in office. Now, some of you might say, well, he's not going to allow that to happen. I don't know. Just because Donald Trump is strong, we love the guy and that he was a deterrence against people going into other people's countries. Well, they might just say, F it, we're going to go in, and we're going to go in now. And Donald Trump might be in office. Well, you also have, speaking of foreign stuff, holy lordy, folks, we got a lot. U.S. intel on Israel military plans for Iran leaked by the Biden-Harris administration. These people, it's such a recall of the classified documents when Joe Biden had him in the Biden-Pence Center. Y'all remember that? Or he had him next to his Corvette in his garage, and he thought it was more locked up than Fort Knox was. I had documents there. I didn't know that they were in the boxes. How'd they get there? He had documents when he was vice president. He had documents when he was senator. He had documents when he wasn't either, which is illegal, by the way. But the Democrats, and the media sat there and jumped and prowled and made sure that he was okay, that the real information wasn't coming out of the classified documents he had. The fact that they sat there and when they raided Mar-a-Lago on Donald Trump, that they manipulated the photos. Y'all remember that they actually manipulated the photos of the classified documents that was found at Mar-a-Lago? I'm not saying there wasn't classified documents. What I'm saying was the way they did the layout, they added more stuff to the pictures. They displayed it in a very certain picture-esque to sit there and mislead the people. But remember, you guys do the deep fakes. You guys do the deep fakes. We were told by Jen Psaki, which is her administration that actually does those types of things. Democrats have been doing cheap fakes and deep fakes for a while. Folks, AOC went down to the border. You guys remember that bull crap that she did by putting her hand on the chain link fence, looking at an empty parking lot, and there was nobody there. There was no children. She's just looking at a chain link fence. Oh, look at them. Like she's at a zoo or something. And then she tells everybody that, they're drinking out of toilets when they're drinking out of faucets. They've been doing cheap fakes, deep fakes forever. Well, this isn't one. This is bad. Top U.S. officials are worried about a potential mole inside the intelligence community after top secret documents were posted on pro-Iranian social media accounts that allegedly showed what U.S. spy satellites detected happening inside Israel as the country prepares to strike Iran. Well, why don't you find everybody that touched those documents and start bringing them in, or you're laying everybody off? Whatever happened to executing people for like treason and doing stuff like this? You know what I mean? Where like you had to sit there and feel like, hey, you know what? This information's so valuable that I'm gonna put my life on the line to give it to another country. You know what I mean? Or now that we're just so lax in everything, folks, literally everything, from stealing to murder, now to sending freaking top secret documents to foreign countries, our enemies, it's a slap on the wrist. Don't worry about it. We've seen it with the military guys before. It's not the first time this has happened. And it's not the last time, because it's so lax on what happens to these people. Nothing happens. Where if you start, I'm not saying start executing people, but start throwing them in the prison for the rest of their life or something, so they know not to do it. A pro-Iranian Telegram account published the U.S. intelligence documents about Israel's alleged preparations for the attack against Iran, which has been in planning for 3 weeks. Well, there that goes. The report, if accurate, would suggest very close and detailed surveillance by U.S. intelligence of Israel's preparations for an attack on Iran, including the use of satellites to spy on operations carried out at Israel Air Force bases. So, not good. And it just shows you that Joe Biden and the Democrats have people that are not pro-Israel in their administration. There's people that aren't pro-Israel in their intelligence community, meaning ours, and that there's people actively going against the United States military and the interests of the United States right now. Right now.